Weird, Wild, Wacky World we're in. This is another scene for Unmask Orlando, the vampire venue. This evening's scene is set at the Hemingway restaurant on the property of the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Orlando, Florida. Also known to the local kindred as Elysium. And we have a group of kindred gathering. Whoop! Be right back. My kid just fell off the bed.
Sorry.
You guys can start doing your intros, starting with Arjun.
Arjun is probably sitting at the bar, drinking one of those special drinks that the Tremere, who are in charge in this city, make. So it's a blood wine that he's drinking, and for the moment seems to be on his own.
Maui has discovered, since her last visit, she has discovered the piano that is here. So she's sitting behind the piano. She's kind of playing. She's still like a heap of jackets. You can barely see her uh, face kind of hovering or kind of coming out of the jackets. Probably like only her eyes, like the rest of it is hidden beneath at least three that you can see. Several kinds of jackets. The Stetson that she always wears is laying on top of the piano. She has a hard time actually reaching the pedals because she's so short. And she's playing. And I'm not going to roll for it because fuck it. I will roll for it when the Toreador comes in.
Okay, we are going to do Axel's intro last because this is his intro to the city. So next is Dominique.
Dominic is just kind of standing there watching people. He's got his hat on, just as you see in the picture. None of his body, not even a small smidgen of his skin is exposed. And he's humming softly to himself.
And up next is our lovely Setite.
So needless to say, I said to the Shah of Persia, "That's not even my elephant." You will hear this very boisterous gentleman walking down the steps. He is flanked on one side by a woman who looks like this. She just looks thoroughly unimpressed as she bows and goes, "Yes, my lord. Witty, my lord." "Yes, it was. Ah! The place where the prince has at least some quality. Well, actually, no. Slightly subpar alcohol considering his age and obvious wealth. But we will still drink it anyway," as he walks towards the bar.
Okay. And last but not least is our new person to the city.
Seven's been going around the block on his motorcycle a few times, and he has settled on this particular location because, well, it looks particularly bougie. So his loud exhaust can be heard as he pulls up the curb. He revs the engine a few times, throws down the kickstand and gets off and makes his way inside. He is going to take the bar stool right next to Arjun for no particular reason, but as he walks in, he's going to take a deep breath of air through his nose. He'll have a sly smile on his face and then make his way over to the bar and sit down.
There is some random Tremere neonate manning the bar tonight. Conrad and Castiel have taken the night off. Which actually, give me just a second. Because overlays are a pain in the butt. This group of people walks into Hemingway's.
As they do so, it is just in time to see the Setite hop the bar. Basically, as he's kind of put his face very close to the bottles as he's like, terrible, terrible, knockoff vintage, terrible, not bad, terrible, terrible.
Prince Darian is kind of like, excuse me.
You're entirely excused, he says without looking around, continuing his work.
I'm not sure.
Would you mind getting out from behind my bar?
That depends. Would you mind importing decent stock?
You think this is all I keep?
Okay, he turns. How tall is Prince Archie?
Prince
Wait.
Darian is
Darren, sorry.
Prince Darian is about 6'4".
Okay, he's much taller than the Setite. He's like, you must be the, I'm not sure what you call yourselves. Highest point on the pyramid. Wow, that sounded like a penile joke. But you must be that.
To be fair, this entire group is fairly tall with the exception of Katya.
That's fine.
Like,
But no,
Castiel has huge size.
he's making the point of you're the head honcho as opposed to you're tall.
Yeah. He nods.
Yeah. He hops out from over the bar, like once again, not very nimble. As a matter of fact, his assistant has to kind of help him over the bar to prove that he is not a nimble man. But he kind of brushes the hands off on the incredibly expensive coat and reaches out the hand for the prince. Lovely to meet you.
Darian extends a hand. Prince Michael Darian. Clan Tremere.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Narashed. I am but a humble follower of pervasive paths, intoxicating elixirs, and find myself rather circuitously here in your domain. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Kind of raises an eyebrow. And he kind of, waves off the little neonate Tremere to, go do something not here.
So who's the bartender behind the bar at the moment?
It was the neonate, but the prince just kind of waved him off. The man who steps behind the bar is the one on the bottom left. Hang on here. I will blow it up so you guys can actually see for a second. It is Castiel.
Handsome fellow. Okay, I'm gonna Seven is gonna look at him, give him a nod, and say, "I'll take a whiskey sour."
He nods. And Kachi will come over to Arjun and sit in his lap.
I'll gladly accept that. Kind of put an arm on her leg. Evening.
I see several faces I don't know.
Well, faces. There's a mask. I don't know. I can't look at Dominique.
Well, my guess would be Nosferatu, so mask doesn't surprise me.
Once that whiskey sour arrives, Seven is going to take it, put some cash on the bar top, and then turn around in his bar stool to face the floor proper, and just kind of take it all in with just a little bit of a shit-eating grin on his face.
The prince will come up to you. You're new, aren't you?
I could be.
Kind of tilts his head a little bit.
You are talking
You
to
do
the
realize you're talking to the prince, right?
Well, I do now.
So tempted to shout, I didn't vote for him.
Do you have a name, Your Majesty?
Prince Michael Darian.
Prince Michael Darian. I present myself to you, my fine sir. My name is Seven. child of Keegan, child of Tyrus.
Interesting name.
I'm guessing that's an alibi. Or your parents really didn't like you.
I assume you mean an alias, Arjun,
Sorry.
darling.
Alias.
She kind of pats his chest. It's all right.
Quite the empire you have here, Your Majesty. After all, this remarkable city is the most visited by tourists.
That is when its borders aren't being chewed on by the Sabbath, of course. But that's a minor concern.
Just as a point of reference, can I hear him where
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sitting?
this
or-
is the area around the bar is not terribly large. Oh goodness, it's okay, buddy.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, can what's your name that you were just talking? The character?
He extends his hand. I'm going to introduce myself. Narashet, at your service. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
I'm sure it is. Would you give me a moment? I'm speaking to your prince.
Yes, you are speaking to your prince.
Okay.
Kind of shoots Narashet a little glare at that.
So, Your Majesty, is this, I can only presume, one of your Elysium?
Yes, this is my place, as is the hotel, which property it sits on.
Naturally. Well, I've just kind of blown into town, so
Well-
I figured at some point I would have to make the introduction. I
Well,
must
if you need
say
a place to stay, the hotel has a few floors specifically for our more nocturnal guests. Saskia, why do the dice gods hate you?
Let's not get into that.
Oh, we lost
I
an
mean,
Axel.
it's still 3 successes. Like, it's still above
True.
average. But, you know. But it's obviously the lighting. This has nothing to do with her. The lighting is just off tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's the lighting.
interesting.
So the little bundle will hop off the piano. Start readjusting some of the lights around it.
Prince Darian has accepted these eccentricities by this point. He's seen her several times playing in the Elysium, so you know. He has accepted that she's going to rearrange his lights and move things around and do whatever she pleases when it comes to the piano.
Good. Piano is claimed by now.
The piano is Maui's domain.
Maui, you have to lick it or it's not yours.
Toridor, they are still approaching.
I mean, Maui
Huh?
has her domain. Her domain has been approved.
Yes, it's the piano.
Yes.
Seven is gonna
The piano.
pretend to pretend to sip at his whiskey sour and place it back on the bar. Give another sideways glance to Arwen, kind of sizing him up, and then divert his gaze back to the prince.
May I help you? I'll smile at him when he's looking at him.
Probably not.
I mean, I know he's handsome, but no need to stare.
Who's staring?
We have angered Bebby.
Your Majesty, as I was saying, your scourge is slipping.
You'd be shocked, probably very shocked, to learn that we don't actually have a scourge. This is a brand new Camarilla City, you see.
Oh, I was unaware. Pray tell, you have a sheriff to keep some kind of order.
Of course. Clarence does his job fairly well.
Clarence. I'll remember that name. So, Your Majesty, it is my intention to stay in your fair city, at least for the moment. Do I have your permission?
Yes. I grant you... Kieran, get out from behind me! Sorry. Hashtag tiny human problems. Yes, I grant your request for permission to reside in this domain. If you need
Very
somewhere
well.
to stay until you can establish somewhere more permanent, the hotel has rooms available.
I wouldn't quite know what to do with a hotel room, Your Majesty. I tend to live on my own. And I do appreciate and respect your incredible hospitality. Is there a particular place in town you'd like me to feed?
The area around the primary downtown strip is open, as is the area around the theme parks, as it tends to get rather busy.
Yummy. Tourists. My favorite.
Which the this hotel is actually right in the heart of that area.
Understood.
So anywhere around the hotel and the theme parks is open territory. It is not. It is general domain.
Your Majesty, if I may, with all of your hospitality, are there any of my clanmates, any of the Gangrel clan present in your city?
Of course, you have a lovely Primogen, and I believe there's 2 more of your clanmates that are Ancilla, and then the neonates and whatnot.
Very well. I shall abide by your traditions and respect your gracious hospitality.
He writes out an address on a sheet of paper and hands it to him. It's the address for your permission.
Thank you, my lord.
She likes taking in strays, after all.
I was
Seven
wondering how long until someone made a
taking-
dog joke. I'm pleased it wasn't me.
Seven ignores the guy in the background and just takes the note and takes special notice of her comment about strays.
His. I do try to distinguish my voices. The prince is the one on the right.
Sorry. Yes. His. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll make sure to make my stray presence known to your primogen.
Good. I'm sure she could use the company.
It's not company I offer, but I will give it all the same. Seven is going to take another look over to the kindred with the heavy accent in the background. Anything else to say, bro?
Well, somebody's already made the good quality dog joke, so I think that if I was to say anything else, it would just be icing. So no, I'm good.
Wow. Gonna talk all that shit in front of these kind.
There are no kind in this building.
Oh, shit. Okay.
At this hour, it is strictly kindred.
Yep. But
'Cause I will make note that Katya doesn't wake up till about midnight, generally.
he smiles.
then
Oh,
I
sorry,
will
continue.
I will amend my comment and say, as I grow my claws out and my fangs. Anything else to
The
say?
prince clears his throat.
Arjun just
You
takes his,
realize you are in Elysium.
Arjun grabs his
And
wrist.
you, Majesty, realize I have not committed any acts of violence.
No, but
Yes.
you are using a discipline within my Elysium.
Believe me,
Seven
you don't.
shrugs
Believe me, you
and
don't want the rest of us to do
retracts his
that.
claws and his fangs and just looks at the kindred defending him. I
For
might
the-
got your number, bro.
For the open threat to my life and my physical being, as wonderful as it is, I'll take a minor boon from that one, he says, pointing to the gangrel and then looking at the prince and smiling. It is your Elysium, after all. He did openly threaten me.
Yes, he did.
Seven snarls.
Enough of this.
Now, I know your clan are known for acting like animals.
That
But cage the
a
beast.
loud snarl.
Oh, if he snarls at Katya, yeah, Arjun grabs his throat. Don't. You don't want to start this.
Elysium.
Do I get an action?
Oh, you can have a reaction. Go ahead.
Okay, one clawed hand goes for his nuts, the other clawed hand goes for his throat, but does not pierce any skin.
Make me a dex brawl roll.
How do I do that?
That will be in the Discord. Hang on, I will tag you in the channel real quick.
If it helps, tonight just became much more interesting than I was anticipating.
Y'all weren't ready.
I would like to point out that I was totally ready before the scene started. That anything could happen in just a social scene.
Touche, touche.
You mean to say, Saskia, anything can happen in the social scene that I'm in?
Okay, I just
I
tagged you in
mean,
the roles channel.
Just one slight little declaration. It's not actually that pertinent, and I very much doubt we're going to get to that point. You'll notice the woman who was standing behind the setai for this entire time basically kind of steps front and steps one step to the side, so she's basically bodily put herself in front of any threat.
Yeah, by the way, while you are attempting to do that, Katya is going to touch your arm and roll some fucking dice. What is your current willpower? Axel,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having some
what is your current willpower?
5.
Okay. That is 8 dice versus a difficulty 3. Okay.
Switching. Okay. Are you rolling for me?
No, that was Katya using dominate on you. Oh, and oh shit. Yeah, I need to make sure we roll for anyone who is on phone.
How much dice do you have? How many dice do you have? Oh, roll.
Well, it may be irrelevant with Katya's dominate roll because that was 6 successes.
Up to the I guess.
Yeah, so as you go for Arjun, Katya's going to lay a hand on your arm and say, "Down, dog." And you will have no choice but to sit down. Because Dominate's a bitch.
Mm-mm.
Especially with enchanting voice. Axel, you still there? Did we lose him again? Oh shit. Hang on, guys.
Oh, we did this. His internet may have cut out. He is no longer online on Facebook.
He says he's switching to his PC.
with all the tension going on, Maui's just changing her tune, as I already wrote in sideshow.
Yep,
But hey,
I'm
might
going
as well
to
say
kind of
it out
put
loud.
this on pause while we wait on Axel to switch to his PC.
Oh, I would need you to sign up.
Can you pause the recordings on these? If so, that's cool as fuck.
No, you can't pause the recording. We just kind of have to, wait.
That would be.
I was like, oh god, please don't let combat kick off now. I've yet to stat my bodyguard. God, no.
But yeah, pausing a recording would be cool.
It would be cool.
It would be
Yeah.
that would be a very nice option.
I'm being a good mage and pre-rolling my effects before we do a scene. Just saying.
I mean, all of my effects are already pre-rolled.
Ah, I see what you did there. You have followed in my footsteps, young Padawan. I
Yeah,
have taught you well.
Dahlia is a much more badass mage than Cassidy.
That's fair. Welcome to Mages at CC.
Yeah, this is a mage at CC with an extra 100 XP.
Why?
Because storyteller experience.
Ew.
Claire.
I don't want the zebra.
Don't you even? I know
Okay,
for a
but
fact that you did storyteller XP in Dublin.
Yes, but it was predicated on how long the game had been running. I don't care that much. Oh wow, I botched one of my ritual rolls. Aha.
well, that's
Mhm.
gonna be fun.
Not really. It was the first roll of of a new ritual. So and it was 11 so I just take the 1 point of paradox. It's actually not that terrible. Docs. It's when you do the force multiplier, because if you're doing a ritual, if you like, let's just say you're doing a level 3 ritual and you botch on the 4th or the 5th roll of the ritual, you take the amount of paradox you would have gained, which is 3, and you multiply it by the point you're at in the ritual. So if you're on rank 4, you multiply it by 4,
Damn.
and then you have a sad time. Oh no, that wasn't a botch. That was just a failure. I remember how botches work now. Does mean you have to start again, though. Ah, that's better. Much better. Yes. That's more than enough successes.
Okay, he's got the link, so he should be back any minute now.
On a side note, set tight, pressing everybody's buttons like they're meant to.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No buttons were pressed.
I'll press your button.
Okay,
Okay,
welcome back,
quick
Beer.
audio check.
Yep,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So the last
Welcome
thing I
back.
heard, and I do apologize for my technological ineptitude, but I'm on PC now. So the last thing I heard was my boy Seven grew claws, grabbed Homeboy by the balls and throat.
Yep, and the second he did that, Katya laid her hand on his arm using Dominate with 6 successes
My shit. Okay.
and said, "Down, dog."
And how do I resist that? And I do apologize.
You don't. I rolled against your willpower.
Fuck me. Okay.
You have no choice but to sit down.
Okay. Well, I'm still seated the entire time, but so I will. Seven will retract. Well, not retract, but he will release the vital areas and growl as he does nothing.
At which point, this tiny woman, she's probably all of about 5 feet tall, walks over, grabs you by your shirt, and pulls you in so she's looking you dead in the eyes. Do it again, and I will boil your blood in your veins and watch as you turn to dust. Understand me? And if you want, I will make an intimidate roll for it.
No need. 7 will meet her gaze and offer a slight nod. Whatever you say, sis. I'm just trying to have a
That
good
is
time.
Primogen von Essen.
Yeah, okay.
I am a titled member of the Camarilla, and you will use my title when you address me.
I'll be sure to remember that.
Good.
During this whole time, Arjun was
She
just drinking.
releases him and kind of, smooths down her dress.
During this whole time, Arjun was just sipping on his drink. Like, he had the claws on his balls and neck, and he just kept drinking. And then, the whole intimidation thing happened. It was like, meh.
Is it the standard practice and operation of the Camarilla to openly threaten members of the online clans? Dangerous business, that.
I never stated my clan.
I do apologize. I tend to be a bit rough around the edges. And at that point, 7 is gonna
And then there's
look
lacking in etiquette entirely.
guilty as charged. And 7 will look over at Arjun sitting next to him and say, "Is this kind of par for the course? Is this how you all like get your kicks on?"
What do you mean? I simply stopped you from. Well, first I stopped you from break. Well, you had already pulled your claws out on Elysium. I was telling you to stop, and then you went and growled at dear Katja here. I was going to stop you.
Okay, touche. I was always under the impression that actual violence was forbidden, but I don't.
We're not allowed to use, disciplines, Elysium.
Ah, and there is my mistake. Well, to break up this sour mood, can I buy the house around?
Yeah, I'm willing to accept it, and he'll look to Katja.
Fine. Never again. Am I understood?
I hear you, sister.
Mm, mm.
She turns back around. Call me sister one more time. And you won't have balls left.
Seven thinks about replying to that, kind of smiles and just nods. And then shouts, "Drinks on me!"
Castiel kind of, digs under the counter and gets the lovely thaumaturgical wine that Conrad makes. Tastes like wine, looks like wine. Can be drank by kindred.
My, such an interesting evening. And to think I came here to talk business, but it ends up seeming as though I'm going to get dinner and a show.
Just as a point of reference, is the prince still standing in front of me or near me?
He has sat down next to Arjun and Katya.
What's the proximity?
Fairly close.
Within speaking distance?
Mhm.
Okay. So Seven will accept the drink that the bartender presents, and he'll hold it up as a cheers to the room, and he'll say, "All apologies. I meant no disrespect. Cheers to all kindred."
Martin will raise his glass.
The prince will raise his glass. Conrad will not. He is kind of watching from across the room. He would have stepped in if necessary.
Seven is getting quite the kick out of all of this. He's essentially having the time of his own life.
Katya is sipping on a glass of whiskey.
Now then. Narashep walks up to the prince, his ever faithful shadow following him along, and he says, "I've come to talk business with the most noble prince of Orlando. That is you, I'm led to understand."
That is me.
Wonderful! So, how do I phrase this? You are facing a conundrum.
Am I?
Even now, the Sabbath are nibbling on the edges of your domain. It won't be long before they make a full-fledged push proper in order to try and take this city. But then again, you already know that.
Perhaps I do.
My clan have always stayed out of politics. We find it to be the game of Ventru and the game of La Sombra, and in the end, who cares for a simple snake?
Seven is going to fake a slight barfing motion.
Martin just raises his eyes like.
So,
Wow. You really like playing this Kindred game on hard mode, don't you?
I mean, I may not be of the Chimera, but I still try to not insult everyone in the room.
so with this in mind, I have no doubt that we will be approached by certain factors from certain other large sects in order to not become involved in a conflict that will, or in order to become involved in a conflict that may or may not soon erupt. I merely wish to be able to tell them that we had already made agreements that we would be strictly neutral in such an engagement.
So, what you want is for me to buy your neutrality.
Essentially, yes, but I didn't want to say it like that. That sounds mercenary.
I believe it's extortion.
Yes, it is.
It is.
We offer it at a cheap, cheap price.
I'm sure you do.
Merely the recognition of Setite's clan domain. He will state a large area of domain that would basically be about 4 dots of domain, give or take. Somewhere that's not very important, like a lower income area, or somewhere that Setites would be like, we can either cook meth here or gain religious converts here, or both. He will say,
The Setites already have domain.
"Do we?" No one told me this.
Yes, you should perhaps talk amongst your own clan a little more.
Ah, well, in that case, really, I really should talk to the brothers and the sisters. But then again, we're all so busy nowadays. Have you noticed that the more on life you have, the busier you get?
It's true.
Very well then. We'll be even more generous and more reasonable since you already have domain. I will guarantee the Setite neutrality, as well as if we should happen to find any members of a certain heretical organization of ours that are embedded in the Sabbat, find them very interesting ways to become dust. In exchange for kind of top kicks his kind of knocks his head back. What seems reasonable? I won't ask for that. No. That would be too much. A single major boon, he raises his hand, from her, he points to Katya, as well as two minor boons from you, he points to the prince.
Are you an official representative of your clan?
Yes.
You have some seal document, special handshake that confirms this?
I speak the word of Set. My clan listen to they who speaks the word.
I speak the word of
Seven is
English.
just rolling his eyes. Nonchalant.
Oh, if you'd like, I will give you a demonstration of Set's will.
Oh, please. Please do.
Oh my god, don't ask for. And Arthur just like grabs a bridge off his nose, like, oh.
I mean, if we want to repeat the same mistakes as tonight, then by all means, go ahead.
That is why I asked the prince before I break his hospitality.
He'll look at
I would prefer you not.
he'll look at Gotcha. I had thought that after I had taken down that red lister, I could come here for a drink and it could be quiet.
That's what I fucking hope for. Okay? Fist bump in the air. You
Never
and
a
I are on the
quiet,
same page.
never a quiet night in Orlando.
Well, balls.
I was just confused. I was wondering if you were extorting the prince as an individual or as an entire clan.
As an entire clan.
And you have, but
Sorry.
you have nothing to back up that you're an official spokesman of your clan.
You have the word of a snake.
The word of a. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up here.
I'm not gonna touch that.
Good. You'll live a longer, happier life.
I believe we already have made deals and whatnot with another member of your clan, a Mr. Steven Cervantes, I believe.
Charming man. Absolutely excellent. Looks like that guy in Jurassic Park, don't you think?
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. She has not seen very many movies. She's like 9 months out of Topor.
Oh, I completely acknowledge that. I just love the fact that the faceplate he took, so I'm going to keep referencing it every time I can.
I accept this.
Storyteller, is Arjun still sitting next to Seven?
Yes, and
Yes.
Katya is firmly planted on his lap.
Thank you.
Giggity.
But, you see, unfortunately, I have just been recently dispatched from Egypt in order to oversee my clan's ruminations here. Any deals that you've already... If you could tell me what deals you've already made, that would be very, very helpful.
What? Can't you talk to your clan? Wouldn't you know it by talking to your own clan?
Tried to get straight words out of a snake, I tell you what, it's like trying to milk a goat. You ever tried to milk a goat? I tell you what, no you haven't.
Seven can't help but just laugh out loud.
Yeah, that earns a little giggle from Katya as well.
Yeah, Arden smirks.
All right. So, what deals have you made?
Well, let me go look at my notes real quick, because I don't actually remember.
That's entirely fine.
While she's doing that, completely out of character, who is what is the name? Who is playing this setite?
Hi, my name is Evan.
Abin, you play the most despicable setite I have ever played with. Congratulations, sir.
He's delightfully evil.
Whoa,
He is.
keep it in there, brother. Keep it in there, but just know, like you're doing it. You're doing it, bro.
Oh, he knows.
Wait till you meet the head of the Giovanni, who I also play.
Oh shit.
To be fair, that guy only really shows up whenever shit really hits the fan, and it's like Evan unpleasant things.
Yeah, that's pretty much like I've called him in several times for Evan, please unfuck things.
Evan Healy playing asshole since at least 6 or 7 years by now. I don't even know.
Love you,
Well,
too.
At
You know me.
you'll notice that at this point Katya kind of takes over speaking.
Mhm.
At this point, your clan has secured Mr. Cervantes' personal feeding domain as well as domain for your clan.
Ooh.
A safe presence within this city.
Ah.
And a monthly tithe to the Camarilla for the ongoing partnership.
A tithe of what?
A portion of his business's revenue.
Oh, I never get involved in business.
Mm. Yes, we are happy business partners.
Seven is gonna turn to Arwen, sitting next to him,
Arjun,
completely
just for the
ignoring
Arjun.
Arjen. I'm sorry, Arjen. Turning to him very close, completely ignoring the chick on his lap, and kind of not really whisper, but speak lowly and say, "Is this how y'all's nights go?"
What do you mean by y'all, first of all?
Oh fuck, you're not from Florida. Okay. Is this
Oh,
normal? Like this is a thing?
I will also state Katya has an extremely thick German accent. I do not portray it because I would butcher it and it would just be offensive. But
No,
she
that's
does
fine.
have a very, very thick German accent.
Yeah, boy. But Seven is speaking to Arjun. Arjun. Okay.
yes, Arjun. No, I mean, I know what you mean by you all, but if you mean the Camarilla, well, I do find them amusing myself, but this night is, well, I have not seen them deal with a setup before. This is particularly amusing.
Oh, you've not. Okay, so just know that like they're snakes, and your prince is kind of like BFF with him now. So that's a thing.
I said I have not seen them deal with a setite before. I know about the setites. I have lived long enough to know about them.
Okay. Hey, look. After this, maybe tomorrow night, maybe you and I get together, get to know each other on a more personal level.
Don't well as long as you don't get your claws on my private parts or on my throat, yes.
Oh, look at you, so observant.
He'll raise an eyebrow.
You do have my word, kind sir. My claws will stay where they belong.
I tell you what. One tiny amendment to the current agreement, and it will include the Setites' non-aggression in any future business dealings you may have, and it's something that's well within your power to grant, Your Highness. It'll be a trivial affair for you.
The prince raises an eyebrow.
Question: does Orlando have a museum?
I believe it has several, yes. Hang
Does
on.
it have? Hmm?
Hang on.
There are several.
There is a museum of art. There is a science museum. There are over 10 of them in Orlando, so yeah, to pick one.
I want. It's a very simple request. Either the permit to remove or the removal and granting to the clan of Seth the oldest corpse available currently within the city of Orlando.
The oldest corpse.
How
That
close
would
is
take some
Seven
research.
to the prince?
The only people between the prince and Seven are Arjun and Katya.
So yes, you can hear everything we're saying.
Yeah, what like how many feet?
It's one bar stool's worth, so
Oh, okay.
like 3 feet maybe.
Okay. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, and please don't don't take this the wrong way, but you do realize you are talking to a snake, right?
Do you think I don't know who the Setites are?
Uh, Look, far be it from me. I'm just new in town. Again, I mean no disrespect. I'm just trying to get a feeling and an understanding, and perhaps give you a fair and friendly, free bit of advice to maybe not listen or pay any attention to the text. But by all means, just continue your thing, sir, Majesty, Prince.
The look on Darian's face is just one of like, why am I being bothered with this?
Seven shrugs and looks back at Arjun and shrugs at Arjun like I don't okay.
Let the prince
I
make
mean
the
yeah,
if he will.
true that.
Anyways, I had came here hoping it would be a little more quiet, and he'll kind of kiss Gotcha. I'll see you. Well, if I don't see you tonight at home, I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow.
She nods. And she'll get off his lap so he can get up.
And at that, he'll show courtesy to everyone and leave because it's getting late here. That night.
Yes. Night night.
Night,
Sleep well.
you too.
So, the oldest corpse, that's all we ask, and in exchange, not only will there be peace, as I said, any followers of the light, he spits on the floor. The attendant wipes the spit from the floor. Whom we happen to come across will end their heretical ways, and you get peace. And all it costs is one corpse. And we assure you, it does not need to be a living corpse in the sense of it does not need to be a kindred, just an ordinary corpse.
She kind of looks over at Darian. They exchange glances for a moment. Let me talk to my contacts at the museum. I'm sure I can work something out.
The Setite extends his hand.
Darian will extend his.
Does Darian have potence?
Yes, he does.
Okay. This is like the limpest noodle handshake known to man. It's like, eh.
Sorry.
His character looks at potence and falls over. It's fine.
I mean, if he had shook hands with Katya, it'd be about even. But
Ah, yes, we could limp noodle at one another. It's fine.
because she doesn't have potence, unlike the other 3 fucking Tremere at the table.
Good. I consider this to be a good evening's business.
Seven just kind of murmurs under his breath, "Fucking snakes."
I am so terribly sorry about certain animals that can't seem to be quiet.
Seven's beast is starting to churn up a little bit. The beast wants to get out. It wants to roam. It does not like to be in the concrete jungle. And Seven does his best to suppress that urge.
But yes, I do apologize.
I assure you no offense has been taken. At which point I roll subterfuge.
I mean, all peony, but her peony is really fucking terrible.
Her peony is Katya.
She has no empathy at this point.
And you know what I have absolutely fuck tons of? The answer is surprising. I actually need to check what Narashet's deception is. It's really good, but I can't remember what it is. You
2
don't
successes. Let's see how much he beats her by, because fucking 3 dice.
He's got manipulation of 4, and he's got a subterfuge of that. So. Yes.
Yeah, she believes you.
Oh, damn.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking roll Castiel's, because he might not be able to do Thom, but he has all of the aspects.
And that 10 explodes, so that's 7 successes. There you go.
And all of the perception and empathy.
Okay.
God.
I mean, it's fine. Everything's fine. How are you?
Everything is fine.
And 10s explode here because perception specialty in empathy.
Oh,
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Ah! 5.
Sneaky snake. Gonna snake. The snake is gonna snake. Hey.
With a fucking 3 difficulty.
I know, right? It's fine though, because hashtag snake gonna snake. Snake.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, he will. He'll smile. You know, he seems really genteel at this, and he'll say, "Very good. I'll give you my card." He reaches into his pocket. If any of you look at the thing, he puts it down on the bar so people can see it for a second. His business card reads the Reverend Terry Jones. And a phone number.
7 is just gonna soak up the scene and look at him and imagine how delicious he would taste.
That sweet 7th generation Setite blood.
Nom nom nom.
I mean, hashtag obey your thirst, not your generation. But uh, he smiles and he says, well, I think that we have taken up enough of His Highness's time for the night. It has been a pleasure. A great pleasure to meet you. A great pleasure to speak to you, and a great pleasure to see the future of this fine domain. Hey, pile of coats, play me out.
7 is gonna like snap his fingers at the Setite and just say, "Hey, you and I should get together one night. Just whenever you're available."
I would be delighted.
Looking forward to it, bub.
And he will walk his snaky little ass out.
Unless anyone has any other declarations they would like to make.
Just one. Dominic's gonna go up to like where Katya and the prince are, and so just so I'm clear, the Setite comes in with no proof that he speaks for the clan as a whole, offers us something we already have, and to do something he was already going to do. In exchange, we're going to give him something.
It's a corpse, dear, and not one of ours. I would rather be on good terms with the Setites. I've seen what their gifts can do.
Fair enough.
So, just a quick point. Now that the Setite has left, how many kindred are left in the room?
7, including yourself.
And they're all like within talking distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them is kind of leaning against a far wall, but it's pretty clear that he can hear what's going on.
And Arjun is still
Arjun.
next to me?
No, Arjun left.
Oh, he did leave. Okay. So yeah, 7 is still has us back to the bar and just kind of taking it all in and can't help but smile. And he'll look at the prince and say, "Your Majesty, I do very much appreciate your hospitality. I will conform to your rules in regards to feeding grounds downtown. If you should need me, don't hesitate to reach out."
He nods. You have your Primogen's address. She will be your next stop.
Yes, she will. And with that, 7 will get up from the bar and slide a few more dollar bills on the countertop, straighten his trench coat, take one last look around at each kindred, being sure to make eye contact, and then walk out. And
Making eye contact with Koch is a bad idea.
And a few moments later, everyone will hear the sound of his motorcycle starting up and pulling out.
Okay. And with that, I believe we can end our scene.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Unmask Orlando the Vampire Venue. We'll see you next time.